Hello everybody, this is meteorologist Greg Dia. Detailed weather update here. Finally got the technical issues squared away. This should work now. You should be able to see everything. And we're going to start you off the watches and the advisories. Winter storm watches for the counties, or warnings, for the counties in pink. Van Buren, Newton, Searcy down to the south and west. That means 3 inches or more of snow or significant icing possible. In this case, it's mostly snow. Winter weather advisories, that other color, the lavender color. And you see now northeast Arkansas has been added to those watches and warnings, and that's because we're expecting 1 to 2 to 3 inches of snow in those places. No, Hot Springs, Benton, Little Rock, Lono, Carlisle are not yet in those advisories. Could they be? Yes. Do I know how likely that is? No. These storm tracks can change. The models do not tell us the uncertainty in their track, but from experience is what we know is that these storm tracks can shift by as much as 30 to 40 to 50 miles, and that change will affect these advisories greatly, either to the north, moving the snow farther away from Little Rock, or to the south, and maybe even moving it as close as Highway 270 in Sheridan. That rain-snow line could work its way down to between Little Rock and Pine Bluff. So I'll keep updating you on these as things develop. So let's take a look at one model that I particularly like for this event. The NAM does pretty well with these winter weather events, and that's what we'll look at here. The state of Arkansas, right in the middle of your map, will take you through the precip. Green here is rain. Pinks are mix of sleet and freezing rain, and blue is snow. So this is midnight tonight. A band of rain develops. That rain, 6 a.m. tomorrow, everyone in Arkansas, basically, except maybe around Mena, wakes up to rain. Now, rain could be heavy. Don't think that when you wake up tomorrow morning that it's raining, that, forecast must have changed, not going to snow. No, this is all part of the plan. Tomorrow morning there will be areas of snow around the region, and that is going to continue, or of rain around the region, I should say, and that's going to continue on Sunday to transition to snow. So here's 9 a.m. Snow starts developing in northwest Arkansas as cold rain moves in. A mix in the River Valley, maybe even up to Clinton. Still rain in Little Rock, 9 a.m. Here's noon. Still rain in Little Rock and West Memphis, but snowing now pretty well from Fort Smith north, from I-40 north, Russellville north, snow developing north of I-40. Here is 3 p.m. That rain-snow line works its way south. Mix of rain and snow maybe in Little Rock or just north Conway, maybe around the Ouachitas and Garland, Montgomery County. Mix. Here is 6 p.m. now. All mix or snow central Arkansas north. So now the sun has set and we're still getting wintry precipitation. This is when stuff starts sticking. Back here at 3 p.m., some of these places that are getting snow, the roadways may still be wet for a while because they'll need to cool off, and the sun is still shining through the clouds. By 6 p.m., once we lose the sun, conditions go downhill quickly. Here's 9 p.m. The mix is moving away. By noon, by midnight, it's all gone. So this presents some interesting scenarios because it could potentially mean that you'll be going to your Super Bowl events in wet roadways and maybe even rain, and coming back into snow or sleet or freezing rain on your way back. Let's say if you're coming from Conway to Little Rock for a Super Bowl watch party, in Little Rock, it may rain most of the time. You're ready to go home at 10, 11 o'clock at night. You're driving back to Conway, and you literally go from rain and wet roadways in Little Rock to snow-covered roadways by the time you get to Conway. Is that possible? Yeah. Check out the temperatures by Monday morning in the 20s and 30s. So 6 a.m. Monday, we're in the teens. Even if you don't get snow, there may still be icy patches on the roadways. And if you do get snow tomorrow, north and especially west of Little Rock, the roads will be treacherous Monday morning in many places. How much? Sorry, folks. Little Rock is right on the line. Pulaski County is going to be split between very little in the southern parts of the county to an inch or two in the northern parts of the county toward Faulkner County, and the western parts of the county toward toward Perry County, But here it's indicating 3 to 6 inches of rain of snow in the oranges here across much of the northern third of Arkansas. Here's what the GFS thinks, or the Euro thinks. Not as much. This is the GFS. GFS has the snow a little bit farther to the north and west. Notice it's got 2 to 3 inches northwest Arkansas. Little Rock, the GFS is very little. What about the Euro? 1 to 3 inches across the state with fewer 6-inch amounts. It has the snow setting up farther back to the west. Well, what about some specific numbers? Let's take a look at them. We'll start you off with the NAM. Here are the NAM snowfall predictions for Arkansas. And here's what I mean about Pulaski County. Can you see where Little Rock is? This is why forecasting here is just so difficult. We'll zoom it in just a little bit. But you see it there. Little Rock, 1/3 of an inch to Conway, 3 inches. And I think this is very possible. We've seen setups like this before where Little Rock is kind of on the line, Cabot, Searcy kind of on the line. But you get north of there, and we're talking about appreciable snows. Now, these numbers may not work out and don't concentrate on a certain city. Okay, Conway says 2.9 means we're going to get 2.9. When I see 2.9 in Conway, I think 2 to 4. When I see 5 in Russellville, I think 3 to 6. Because there will be some places that will see 3 in Pope County and others 6. Snowfall varies by quite a bit. Our RPM in-house model, you'll see, also pretty similar to this. Check out the RPM forecast for the states. This one for the state also looks pretty good out there. It looks like we could see as much as 1 to 3 inches of snow across north central Arkansas. Maybe some places a little bit more, some places a little bit less. The European, lower numbers, but the location still pretty much the same. Somewhere around central Arkansas is the cutoff, Hot Springs to Little Rock, and farther north, you're seeing more, 1 to 3 inches overall. The GFS is the only one that's kind of out there by itself, and that one is really showing the heavier 1 to 3 inches amounts across northwest Arkansas. Because the other three are not going with this, I think this is the least likely forecast to trust. Here is the issue. Snowfall amounts could vary quite a bit because the storm track could change, and the air shifting 30 miles to the south would put this 3 inches right into downtown Little Rock. Now, moving 30 miles to the north would take Conway almost completely out of the snow. I think this NAM forecast, the one that you're looking at now, is probably going to be the closest to the truth. None of these computer models are going to nail it, but if I were to draw it myself, I would draw it like this. I'm a little hesitant to put 5-inch amounts in so many places here. I would say a general 1 or 2 to 4-inch amount in this heavier band with isolated 5 and 6-inch amounts. I think that would be the absolute best way to do this. Again, temperatures will fall into the 20s Monday morning. It will not be snowing or raining Monday morning, but north of Little Rock, especially places that see 2 inches or more of snow, travel will be disrupted. How will that affect school systems? I don't make the decision. They don't ask me. Different school districts will do this, will weigh this differently. There likely will be some delays and cancellations on Monday morning. Where? I would think maybe around Pope County, maybe Faulkner County, maybe Van Buren County, Conway County, Yale County, Perry, Cleburne, that kind of area. Of course, Stone, Newton, Searcy, you guys know the drill. Maybe Independence County and Jackson County as well, points north, that type of deal. Little Rock will have to wait. I've certainly seen winter weather situations here where Little Rock starts off not being under any of these winter weather advisories, and suddenly, as the storm develops, the Weather Service notices that things are changing. They're a little different, and the advisories are shifted south. So yes, the county south could be added to advisories, but also the advisories could be shifted farther north. We'll watch it tomorrow. I'll be tweeting, of course, and Facebooking throughout the Super Bowl. Before you leave, wherever event you are tomorrow, check my Facebook page, check my Twitter page to make sure that things are according to plan, that you are not traveling into any dangerous weather conditions. All right, everybody, have a good night. I'll post some more graphics on the Facebook page, some of the ones that we've seen here, so you can take a better look at them as well, coming up in the next few minutes.